Oh man. What's going on, you guys?
Okay.
What do you got going on?
Well, you know what? You got video, so if you got a chance, just look up this woman.
What does that say?
Here's her book.
Dr. Judy Wood?
DrJudyWood.com. She's got a BS and MS, and we're only saying look at the evidence. We're not saying who did it. We're not saying Arabs did it or government did it. We're just saying look at the evidence.
Well, Saudi Arabians did it,
Well, you can say we don't say who did it. We don't want to say who did it. We just want to say we just want to make people aware of what really happened then.
Yeah.
So we're not about who did it.
So what are some of your
Isn't it?
What are
We're
your,
all about the evidence.
what are some of your
It's an investigation.
Yeah, we want to see, because we know there's so many things that they said that didn't work really true.
So from a physics perspective,
Yeah.
what types of things are you having an issue with?
Well, we're having an issue with planes hitting the building and causing this to happen.
Okay, I get that.
And there were only 2 planes and 3 buildings collapsed.
You know, the third
As
building
if
was
by
this building.
Yeah.
Now, where's the rubble pile? Because if
Well-
that building was still standing when they took this picture, if you had 210-story buildings right here, and you got an ambulance right next to the building, how come that ambulance isn't covered up?
That's an interesting question.
Very interesting.
But
Yeah.
I have an answer to some of your questions, perhaps,
Perhaps.
if you're interested. That ambulance arrived on the scene when he drove up there after rubble was cleared. It's quite
Oh,
obvious.
you were there then?
No, it's just literally looking at the picture. You can see that man got out of that ambulance and is currently investigating the site.
You can see where he came
Where did
from
all the
Dude,
rubble
he's
based
go?
on where he is.
If you look at the identification on here and the fact that it's from that type of emergency vehicle, you could tell that the two are
But where,
coinciding.
okay, let's leave the ambulance out.
It's making it.
Where is the?
Well,
where is the
it's
110
Occam's
story?
razor.
Yeah.
Just using Occam's razor,
Where
not
is the
doing
100
anything else.
Where is the
he drove
110
all of
story?
this.
I think that there was rubble cleared, as you can kind of see a path back there for him to drive up. The door is still open. No one is inside the vehicle, and
where
he
the
is
building
walking
was.
around. It just makes sense to me. It's practical.
Where'd all that dust come from then? If he wasn't there when it
That's
came
just
down.
the person driving up to check the place out. That's what it looks like to me. But
You're pretty
I'm sure-
entertaining.
Thank
You're
you.
very entertaining.
I just use practical reasoning.
Yeah, your Occam's razor is very entertaining.
Well,
I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying you're entertaining.
I also don't necessarily know as a fact. I'm pointing out the most probable scenario.
In your case.
Well, yes,
It's a
of
probable
course.
scenario.
Yes,
Now, about what?
the most
We're
likely
asking you to
scenario.
ask questions about things like this.
Yes, that's more important. I wasn't trying to draw that much attention to one picture, to be honest.
Back to my question. Where, if this building came down at 5:25, which it did, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So this picture had to be taken that day.
Is that building currently on fire? Is the smoke coming from that building? Do you know that?
Wait, I asked. I'm just not. You're trying to divert what I'm asking.
Well, no. Let's hear what you have to
you're
say.
trying- I said if that building didn't come down till 5:25. Now that means this picture was taken before 5:25.
Okay.
Okay, if this is where the towers were standing, and it is where the towers were standing, where is the rubble pile if this guy's walking? Don't tell me that's all down in the ground because it wasn't
What
there.
happened to Kurt Sonnenfeld, the famous photographer?
Yeah, where's the rubble pile?
Who's now
Would you
a
have
refugee in
110 stories?
Argentina.
No, that's not a rubble pile.
No.
No, that's just a little bit of.
Have you guys played Jenga ever? You guys ever played Jenga?
I don't play
You may notice that the rubble, while in a very hot state, in an agitated state, functions more as a liquid than a solid. So it kind of distributes itself across the ground.
What got the rubble that hot? You don't know.
Well, of course not. I can't.
You don't know what
explain
got
that.
it that hot. You're just assuming that it did.
No, I'm not assuming anything.
You
I'm
just assumed. Your whole argument was based on that it was that hot that it acted like a liquid.
Well, at the velocity
kerosene
that
fire.
it is,
From
and the heat
kerosene
that it
fire.
had in the area, it would kind of just
What
act
heat?
like
That's
that.
what I'm asking. What heat?
There was 5 guys in there.
From
There was-
kerosene fires.
There was 13 firemen in one of the buildings.
Maybe they
walked
died.
out of
You
there.
know, many of them came in after the event
He's not
actually
even
They
occurred.
walked out of there. They were in
died.
the building when it collapsed.
He's not even listening to you.
Or when it.
Well, I'm not attesting to know any answers. I'm just giving an argument from a
Making up
physics
rationales that
perspective.
make you more comfortable
You
instead
should
of
be the
actually
one that
looking
should
at
be
the
more.
actual
You
evidence.
should be the one. If you're
The
physics,
picture there is not very conclusive to me. It's actually quite 8-bit, and if I were able to actually have been there and analyze the scenario for myself, I would have been much more comfortable in my analysis, of course. Currently, I would say I have no idea what actually happened, but I'm just
Thank you for
guessing.
admitting that.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
you
for admitting it.
can't
Do
be
your research.
100%
Would you
certain
like
on
to
anything.
find out more?
No, I'm good.
What's that?
You don't want.
Well,
It's like
I don't really
a
care what the
50-minute
answer is. I'm just
documentary
fascinated to
asking
see what
some
you
of the
guys are
questions.
thinking.
Sweet.
About how-
Irrefutable.
Irrefutable evidence.
Are you guys
I'm
are you
not
guys in this in any
100% sure
any
on
way,
that,
or
but I believe it's
involved
over
in it, or?
260 degrees Celsius.
How old were you when it
It's
happened?
over 2,000.
I was like 16.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 2,000 degrees Celsius, right?
And what's the highest that?
Well, that doesn't really matter.
Fuel can burn.
That's not what's important. The
yeah,
importance,
it is.
the importance is the temperature the
We're
fire
talking
reached.
physics. This is
Pretty
physics.
important.
Now,
We're
see,
talking
From
physics.
office
you're
fires.
assuming
fire. They
that
don't-
you know the contents of the building.
From office fires. You
Well,
think it
apparently
got
it's all dust. That's
Steel
what's in
Why do you
the
think
fire.
they build skyscrapers out of steel and concrete?
Well, I understand.
Has any other
Impact
steel
of
and
an
concrete
airplane.
skyscraper ever fallen due to fires in
No.
the history of the world?
After
None.
1 or
But
2
that day, 3 of
hours?
them fell, and you think that's just normal.
And they were
No,
only struck
I'm
by
saying
two
we
planes.
don't know the contents of the building. And
Well,
assuming that the
I
fuel
am
of the airplane
doubts.
was the primary component for
doubts
burning,
about
I'm
the
saying
official
we have no
story.
idea what's in there.
I have a
Therefore,
problem with that too.
there might be
because
something burning hotter.
They said
know
when the
it's
building,
concrete
when the
and,
plane hit
you
the
know.
building, that explosion consumed most of the fuel. So you have a double problem there.
No.
That's what they said. There was a
I
huge
don't
fireball.
care. I don't care about the fuel anymore.
No, you don't care.
I care
Just
about.
make it up stuff.
No. Listen, I care about the fact that there were combustions within the building that may have ignited further and further in a chain reaction, creating
hot?
this event.
How hot?
This is a may. That's a probability. It's not exact. It's just a may.
Things in that building.
There were combustive things that,
No,
as you.
these fires have gotten over 1,200 degrees.
No, that's totally possible, though. Especially with asbestos in the building.
Not
Once you
hot
get
enough.
asbestos burning, it gets way hotter than that. That is the primary fuel component for what caused it to burn that much. Now, whether or not that was the only causality, I have no idea, but asbestos was definitely very common in the 70s construction.
Enough to burn, melt steel.
Potentially,
It just said
yes.
Burning asbestos. Asbestos is used specifically for fire.
Can't melt
At a
steel
certain
beams.
temperature. If you get it hot enough, it too burns.
And how did you get it that hot? That's the whole reason
Reactant.
they used it in the building. That's the
I'm
whole
saying-
reason they
I'm
use
saying that
steel
if you
and
have
concrete
enough-
and asbestos.
If you have enough space, and then not to mention you're putting it under pressure because the building's trying to hold itself up under its own weight, you get that pressure fire. Then you get the pressure fire extending itself.
pressure fire.
So how did it collapse in 10 and 12 seconds?
12 seconds is
12 seconds.
That's probably because. Well, we gotta say probably. I'm not as certain as anyone. You know, I just have an opinion or an idea on something. Great. 12 seconds is pretty quick, but I mean, how fast does a Jenga tower fall over when it's unstable?
Yeah.
Instability is the causality. It fell over when it was at a critical point of tension. Of course. Yes, it fell down.
Into its own frame.
That's totally possible.
You're insane.
Okay, it don't matter to
There's steel
decompress.
and concrete. It's not going to fall into itself.
It is.
It's going to fall.
Well, I'm not disagreeing, but you do know that there's underground areas in New York
Well, they
that
got
were
pictures of the
intentionally designed.
underground. Nothing went in.
Really? Okay. Well, under that circumstance, if you're saying that, then I don't know.
You seem like you have an investigative mind. We're just saying investigate a little.
Well,
Try to look into some of these things and find out the answers before you come out here and propose that we're all nuts. Because
oh no,
we have a different
I not
opinion.
once have
He
said
didn't say that.
anything
We
about
have
your
said-
opinion
didn't say
being
that.
inaccurate.
I said why. Look,
But he just likes to have a good debate.
That's the man understands where I'm coming from. I enjoy lively discussion. It has very little to do with a jaded
James
opinion.
just
It's
loves to have
just a
a good-
solution that I can.
That's all he's about.
conceive.
He's about debate.
Loves to beat us in the ball.
He's just debating us. He really doesn't know as much as we do when it comes, because we've been doing this for years.
Well, I believe it. You've had a long time.
We've 10 years.
Yes. But
But
it's
that's okay. It's all right. We hope you watch this. That's all. We just hope you do.
And there's a lot
Yeah, I'll
of
be sure to
others.
watch this.
Thank you. We hope you do.
well, you guys are the least radical people I've seen
We're
protesting
not about
something,
who
or at
did
least
it.
advertising.
We're all
perhaps.
about the evidence.
Yes.
That's how it is.
Well, that
He
if
thought he found
you
that
mean,
interesting.
I do find it interesting, and just
We're not protesting.
no, not at all. That's
No,
good.
We're just trying to educate the public.
With the underground part, I had no idea about that.
Yeah,
So
they show
you've
you-
had 10 years to research it. Clearly, you're more prepared on it
They
than
show
I.
you
I'm
all the
just
stores.
going off of what I
They
had
show you all the
speculated.
stores underground, and they show you the cable cars that went through there. Yeah, there's pictures in here on the underground. They got them in here. She's got them in here.
CD.
Yeah, it's DVD Irrefutable.
Okay.
The third plug.
That is the third plug. All right. Well,
got it.
this is going on a channel, so
Good.
hopefully.
Yeah, we're gonna get some eyes
And
on
then
this.
I just want, when these people listen to this,
What
please
channel are you on?
do the
Daniel
research.
Durst.
Go to drjudywood.com.
I can write it down for you.
Read Where Did the Towers Go?
Daniel who?
By Dr. Judy Wood. 500-page research book, like a college textbook. Read it and become aware of some of the facts that you weren't given that day.
There you are.
Some of the real evidence of that day.
Sweet.
Well,
Steel beams, man.
Steel beams was my counter argument, but if I don't have the underground parking settled and it landed the way it did, then I guess I don't have as good an argument as them. I'll have to do some research.
It's very hard to argue when there isn't 15 stories of rubble if they did collapse. It's very hard to argue.
Your friend brought up a pretty good point as well with the fact that we've never had any other buildings do this, so
that's
it's really
never.
hard to figure out what the causation of this is. There's nothing else to compare it to.
I know. Well, there is. Did you ever hear? Did you ever hear?
Yeah, but it didn't collapse.
Did you ever hear of Nikola Tesla? Did you ever hear of Nikola
Of course.
Tesla? This is who did this. He knew about this weapon.
Oh, you're talking about the transmission of energy through
Evidence of directed,
the atmosphere. Oh man, like as an explosive?
evidence of directed free energy technology.
That is crazy, but that's existed for a long time.
Do you know about?
That's been around forever.
Yeah. Do you ever hear of? Do you know what molecular dissociation?
Yeah, quantum physics is my
That's what's going
expertise.
on here. That's what's going on here. Molecular dissociation. The buildings never collapse. They turn to dust in midair because they violate.
That is fascinating as a theory.
The molecular
It's a hard sell,
structure.
but I'm interested.
The
in knowing that.
molecular structure of the building was so irritated by this directed energy type weapon
Irritated like my bowels.
that the molecule exploded into dust.
Wow.
Daniel Durst.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's
Durst.
Chris, it's nice to
And
meet
if you
you.
want to
Check it out and subscribe.
Were you at UWM?
Go to a
Was I at
Facebook page
UWM?
or group. We have
What's at
5,000
UWM?
members.
Well, I was in school there, and I was just
309
wondering if you were on the student
Interesting stuff, man.
government.
Oh no. I'm just an independent guy doing this.
Just remember,
I get really loud and people think I'm being aggressive.
no, he's not. He's
Yeah,
not.
I don't like that loud voice. That's good to know.
All right. Well, I think we're out.
Appreciate it.
But have a great day, man.
You guys got DVDs?
Yeah, we got stuff.
Just about that. We're not saying
Alpha Bill, take a look at this thing. Kind of cool. It's got 9/11 all over it.
Turn it back. Wait, turn it the other way. Well, oh, Dick and Bush, man. Dick and Bush.
All right. We're criminals. Hey, let's
Yeah.
go.
Steel beams.